Now we're going to talk about my quarterback 2 in the draft, North Carolina's Drake Maye, standing 6'4", 230 pounds. I've got him going in the top 5, most likely the top 2. If not the top 2, definitely the top 3. And the first thing that jumps out on his tape, this guy's a playmaker. Inside the pocket, outside the pocket. He just does some crazy things with the football. He's not a lefty. He just threw that lefty because it was there. And he can. And it's just that simple for him sometimes. This guy is extremely talented. He can get the football out through contact. And your jaw just drops sometimes watching this guy. And he manipulates space fairly well. When he goes into playmaker mode, he can win as a backyard passer. Passer's probably the wrong word, but a backyard football player, because he also has legs too. But there's a lot to like with his playmaking ability. Additionally, he's got extremely high-end arm talent from the pocket. His dad played quarterback at UNC, and you can see that in his arm talent. Speaking of which, I mean, this guy's older brother won a national title for North Carolina basketball back in 2017. His other older brother, Cole, won a national title for Florida baseball. He has another older brother who walked on to the UNC basketball team. The athletic traits that this guy has are evident in the tape. When he sets his feet in the pocket and has time to get the football off, there's not really many limits to his arm. He can rocket it down the field, he can hit middle of the field, he can go cross hash. There are just very few throws that this guy can't make from the pocket. He's tall enough to see over the line of scrimmage consistently. Old school scouts will love his height. I see a guy who can stand tall in that pocket and sling it wherever he wants it to go. His footwork is a work in progress, but ultimately, right now, he is throwing a lot of this stuff with poor footwork, which means his arm might only get better as he improves that footwork and that consistency with his feet. I mean, he's just dropping dimes right over defenders on a lot of these. Dropping dimes, dropping it right in the bucket. Also, his legs are very dangerous. I mean, don't get fooled as being the tall pocket passer. This guy can really hurt you with his legs. I'm really interested to see how he runs at the combine, if he runs. Because, I mean, you look at some of these plays, he's an aggressive runner. He's a downhill runner who picks up speed pretty quickly. And he's got those long sprinter strides that once he opens it up, he can run away from people. For the most part, I do feel like it is a last resort. I wish that he kept his eyes up a little bit better when he ran for the option to go past the football. But generally, I think that he does a good job of only running once he needs to and really making defenses pay with his legs. We got to talk about some of the negatives here, and we're going to start with the "what are you doing" plays. There are just some inexplicable plays throughout Drake Maye's tape where you just find yourself pulling your hair out, staring at the screen going like, what on earth are you doing? How does that happen? It's bizarre where they end up, what the throw height on them is. It ends up in a defender's hands. Some of them, it's bad situations like maybe the O-line was not doing a good job, and he just makes it so much worse with a poor throw or trying to a desperation heave that ends up in a defender's hands. This one here, you see he doesn't throw it towards the sideline, lets the defender back in the play. This red zone one, you'll see he throws it in between two defenders, like trusts his arm too much. Just a lot of moments where you're going like, huh? What are you seeing here? Moving on to his pocket presence, it's a little bit shaky, and it's hard to decipher this sometimes when a guy has a really poor O-line. He saw a lot of blitzes, and it made it hard to read, but it seems to me like he hurries through his reads a lot of the times. His footwork is a little happy back there, a little hoppy, and he's a little shaky in his timing back there. His mental clock is not exactly where you want it to be. And lastly, I felt that his ball placement to the short portion of the field left a lot to be desired. And this again is going to tie in heavily with that footwork. You see a lot of these throws where he's not putting the ball in the best position for his playmakers to be able to go make the catch, to get some yards after contact. You might be sitting there saying, who cares? It's short throws. He'll figure it out. The more you look at some of these numbers about short passing, college to the NFL, it's one of the things that translates the most heavily. And it's something that successful rookie quarterbacks, they were typically really strong short passers. in college. I want to leave you guys with a little food for thought on his field reading versus schemed production, because I think this is a big debate with Drake Maye. This first one, we see him take advantage of a Tampa 2 honey hole here. Recognizes Tampa 2 with the high safety and the cornerback in the flat and just rips this corner route. Well done. Next one, recognizes Tampa 2 again, waits to see the Mike linebacker clear out on the deep middle, and then hits this crosser over the middle, this in route for a nice gain. Waits, throws with nice anticipation. Now this next one is pretty simple, but still just a quick little easy read. He just reads the safety's hips here, sees the safety's hips towards the middle of the field, knows he has this go route out towards the sideline. Easy read, easy throw. Last one here, we're just going to see him progress from first read, maybe that's there, to the second read, not there, third read, definitely there. Hits the third read on time, bing, bam, boom, you're done. Taking a look at some schematic advantages that he had. Check out this fake screen. So he's going to make this fake pump to the screen, going to have the tight end leaking out to the wheel route as the outside wide receiver clears the safety. Just real easy, real nice scheme there. Then this last one, we're just going to see a manufactured mismatch. This tight end here, clear mismatch, and the linebacker way faster than him. They use the alignment formation to create that mismatch and get a home run play. Ultimately, I think Drake Maye is one of the better quarterback prospects of the last few years after watching multiple games of his tape. I see a quarterback who has all the physical tools that you look for, might need some refinement in his footwork, and there might be some questions with, what type of reads he's been asked to execute. When I look at him, I see a guy who's probably a dream for a Shanahan scheme. We look at his play at North Carolina. We know that he's okay with throwing to spots. We know that he knows how to do that. He feels good doing it. So in a Shanahan offense where you are telling the quarterback, do this. This is what you do. You go do it. You hit it on time. You hit it right when you're supposed to. I think he's a guy who can do that.